Okay, we are live.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Aaron Hall. I'm here with Rylan Warner for the weekly update from Joseph and Hall on immigration. This week, we're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated version because it's just the two of us and our updates are shorter. If somebody does get questions in to, to the comment section, we will try to get to them. But otherwise, you'll find us again next week at the same time.
Yeah.
So, Rylan, why don't you start with yours?
Sure. So mine, I put a question mark at the end of my little statement here because what I'm about to talk about, it's nothing official has been confirmed and nothing has been passed in the House or the Senate yet. But there have been bills introduced and it's a bipartisan bill, meaning that it's being supported by both Republicans and Democrats to hopefully get Afghans on the route towards LPR or green card status. And this is in reference to the people that were allowed to enter into the United States on humanitarian parole. And humanitarian parole, if you aren't aware, is a very temporary status. It doesn't lead to a green card, it doesn't lead to anything. A lot of times it's used for medical purposes when a person needs to enter and get medical treatment and then leave the United States. But it can be used for situations like this too, where obviously there was a humanitarian crisis ongoing in Afghanistan. And so we brought in a lot of people, not as many people as should have been brought in, but still a lot of people that might have been in the process of getting SIV status, special immigrant visa status, or might not have been, and were just able to get on an airplane anyways. But so all these people are in the US. There are approximately, let's see, how many people? 76,000 Afghans arrived in the United States, but they don't have any route towards green cards. Once their 2 years are up, they might be sent back to Afghanistan if they haven't applied for TPS. TPS is a protection from deportation. Or if they haven't gotten asylum, which asylum is a very difficult and complicated process that has a crazy backlog too, and it's just very uncertain. So if these people haven't gotten either TPS or asylum protections, they could potentially just be sent right back into Afghanistan. Um, and so this bill is aimed towards helping these people stay in the United States because where they're from could potentially get them killed. And it's not the first bill of its kind. There have actually been bills like this before. After the Cuban Revolution, similar bills have happened. After America's withdrawal from Vietnam, there have been bills like this, and following both U.S. military actions in Iraq, there have been bills that have helped people get on a special pathway towards green card and lawful permanent residence and ultimately U.S. citizenship. So hopefully something like this passes in Congress and it doesn't get hung up anywhere and left out to dry. And hopefully these people, these 76,000 people, are afforded the protections that I think that we owe them. And that's, I mentioned too that these are the people that were able to get into the United States. We're still waiting on plenty of humanitarian parole applications for people that are still in Afghanistan and are still in danger every single day. And the USCIS is still dragging their feet on that. So I'm not going to waste an opportunity to call them out on that and say, hey, what's going on? Why are we not doing something with these humanitarian parole applications? But at least maybe something is happening here for the people that have been able to get humanitarian parole in the United States already. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll definitely keep you updated. And if you are eligible for something like that, when it happens, if it happens, we can definitely help you out filling out the proper forms and doing all that work for you. So fingers crossed, Aaron.
Rylan, what do we know? I mean, what do we know about like odds of success? I don't know. Like, is this going anywhere, or do we know?
I honestly don't know. I mean,
Mm.
like I said, it does have bipartisan support, so at least there's that. And I did see, that there are chances, or that part of the bill would include would include extensive background checks on people as sort of a protection, so more extensive than usual. So that doesn't really go to the chances of it being successful, but at least some details about it that I do know. Lindsey Graham, who is kind of a big name in Republican politics. He's one of the people supporting it. So hopefully, that acts as a sign that this is being taken seriously, both by the Republican Party and by the Democratic Party, and that we can move forward with this. But as
That
for
does seem like a
yeah,
potentially positive sign. I don't know.
yeah, but who I can't say. I
Yeah.
can't predict anything. I remember one time I talked about the Eagle Act, and Zach was like, "Don't." That's who knows what's gonna happen there. And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't have any sense of it either. It just seems like kind of like you were getting at. It seems like just a weird waste of resources to basically get all these people here because they're in so much danger, but then have USCIS officers spending all this time interviewing them to see if they are in danger, right? Like that's why
yeah,
they're here.
yeah,
And then also like all those cases getting referred to the court if the USCIS officers don't approve asylum applications. It's like it just seems like this makes a lot of sense. So
yeah."
I hope it does go somewhere.
Yeah. In terms of like forcing them to submit asylum applications, like it is so apparent why an asylum claim would be there. Yeah, it does seem like a waste of time and resources, but without another route to do it, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
well, either apply or get out. So yeah, we'll see how it comes along. Hopefully, again, fingers crossed. Knock on all the wood you see, and hopefully something gets passed. Aaron, you said that you had something around a scam. Is that right? It sounds juicy.
Yeah, this is something that comes up every so often. But the reason that I was talking about it today is because the Department of Justice recently put out an alert, and what they said was that they've had some recent instances of phone calls that come from the EOIR, that's the Immigration Court Agency. It comes from their main number, or it's made to appear that it comes from their main number. So that when somebody receives the phone call, the recipient sees the immigration court system as the caller. And what happens is the person who's actually making the call, the scammer, says that there is a problem with their case and that their social security number has been compromised, or that they need money to fix whatever the issue is. And this isn't unique to EOIR. From time to time, this happens with ICE phone numbers. It happens with USCIS phone numbers. And what's important to know, and what the Department of Justice's notice says, is these employees that work for any of these agencies, they're not going to call and ask you for your social security number. They're not going to call and ask you for money. It's just not going to happen. If there were an application that you had tried to submit that didn't have the filing fee or something like that, where they didn't need any money, that would come in a written notice from one of the agencies. And so you and your loved ones and other people in the immigration system just should know that just because the phone number appears to be legitimate doesn't mean the person on the other end of it is legitimate. And just be really careful when answering those phone calls. And if it seems suspicious that they're asking for something, it probably is suspicious, and you can ask for it in writing rather than giving any information over the phone.
Yeah. Oh, what a terrible thing to target people like that. But
Yeah.
these scammers do. And yeah, last week I was giving kind of reminders for notario fraud of how to keep your eyes out for that, and what kind of false assurances might be being made in those types of situations. So um, it's unfortunate truth that people, when you're vulnerable and you need help, people are going to try to target you. So waiting to look for those official confirmations, written notices, looking for double checking email addresses to make sure that it's coming from an official source. In this situation, it looks like it's coming from an official phone number, but it's actually being spoofed. So don't just rely on your caller ID. If you have questions about whether something is legit or not, feel free to contact our offices to schedule a consultation, and we can help you out in resolving those questions.
Well, good. I think that's it for today's abbreviated update. Thanks for watching. Ryland and I will be back next week, probably with others next Thursday. We look forward to that. Until then, have a great week.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.